right. Ooh, okay. So we now that we got through all the good news, child, let's get through some bad news because bitch, Lizzo's album "Bitch" is a major flop. So unfortunately, I mean, who didn't? No shade. I don't want to kick a broad when she's down, but who didn't see this coming? Because apparently Lizzo is currently basking in her flop era because her latest album, Bitch, failed to debut on this week's Billboard 200. It becomes her second project in a row to miss the chart entirely. So let's get into this tea. The 38-year-old released her fifth studio album, Bitch, earlier this month, 4 years after her last record. But while 2022 special contained the Grammy winning track about that time and reached number two on the Billboard Top 200, the follow up has yet to break the chart. None of the tracks on Bitch charted on either the Billboard Hot 100 and Spotify Top 200. It comes after a controversial few years for the singer. Now, in 2023, in case you need a reminder, lawsuits saw she had a 2023 lawsuit which saw three of her former dancers level a series of accusations at her, including sexual harassment and fat shaming. Yeah, you a big girl, fat shaming other broads. Now, Lizzo also accused of creating a hostile work environment, sexual, religious, and racial harassment and false imprisonment. In 2025, a judge dismissed the allegations of fat shaming, and she later took to social media to have her say. She said, "There was no evidence that I fired them because they gained weight. They were fired for taking a private recording of me without my consent and sending it off to my ex employees." Lizzo later sparked concern among fans when she appeared to suggest she was quitting the music industry. She said at the time, "I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want to do is make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views, being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look, my character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name." And then she said, "I didn't sign up for this ish. I quit." And then put a peace sign emoji. Well, clearly you see she ain't quit because she put out two mixtapes. Then she put out this recent album. The mixtape I actually didn't think was that bad. I like a couple of the songs on it. Oh, just people just didn't care. And with this album, it's kind of like she went back to what she was doing before, making that feel good, happy, positive music, whatever the case is. And then people, I guess, wasn't buying into the illusion. It's the same. She suffered from the same thing. Look, I call her the Black Megan Trainor because they both suffered from the same situation. Y'all came out, two big girls, making this positivity. Oh, I don't want to lose weight. I'm a bad bitch because I'm big and all this other stuff. And you were writing all these little positive songs about love yourself and all the other stuff. And it always seemed like, in so many ways, I think people were just getting annoyed with Lizzo because she was coming across as a billboard of contradictions. She was coming across very contradictory. People wasn't buying in what she was selling. And then I just feel like when people feel like she wasn't growing as a musician, you keep reheating your damn nachos every time you drop a record. It's like, who is Lizzo? Who is the lady behind the persona? And people want, and we're in an era of authenticity that people want to feel like that there's some type of relatability in you as an artist. Now, don't get me wrong, I come from the era of being mysterious. I like the idea of my pop stars being a little mysterious, whatever. But if you're gonna be mysterious, when it comes time to make the music, give me something of substance. And I just don't feel like that she does that because to me, Lizzo has always come across as somebody who's about as deep as a pond. So people not buying the music, people not feeling the music. She just keeps making these Tarjay jingles or these elevator music jingles. So people just don't care. So I think that's where a lot of the backlash is coming from. When you went and you was all about body positivity, but then you started losing weight and you abandoned that body positivity movement that you started. And I don't always expect people to just stay the same and do the same thing over and over and over again. But I mean, you should evolve. But if you're gonna evolve, you gotta evolve the music. If you're gonna evolve your body, there needs to be some type of evolution with the music and your art and all that other stuff instead of you getting on social media bitching about algorithms and things. Because I'm like, you're a mainstream artist. The algorithm should not be affecting you. Um, and also, I guess I'm gonna have to bring her up. Let's talk about Janta because Madonna's fans don't use Spotify and Apple Music. That's been the complaint that, oh, they're not people are not streaming her or whatever, whatever. She has older fans. Like a lot of the younger fans, the Gen Zers and Alphas and things, are starting to discover her music because this is the first era that's coming up with her new album, Confessions 2, Electric Boogaloo, that people can follow along and get into the pocket of her music and stuff. But a lot of her fan base, and I have been noticing, like I have been hearing that she has been doing well in the streaming part. So I don't know where people's getting that information from, that she's not out here blowing up. We're not expecting her to come in with fucking Taylor Swift streaming numbers, but a lot of the fandom buy physical copies. Hence her dropping all these damn variants with the vinyls. And I believe she's doing cassette tapes because I know Adam Lambert, who's independent, is doing cassette tapes. So people out here already got the CD and the vinyl coming. So I bought physical copies. But I feel like you need to also try to change up the way that y'all do your promotions. She's been outside. She taking the old school approach, which is popping up at different places, doing performances like in the middle of Times Square. That got people excited. Then she dropped a little mini movie giving y'all a preview of what the album's gonna sound like. Then she went and dropped a full music video, Bring Your Low, with Sabrina and her. And I'm sure we'll probably be getting full length versions of a lot of those little snippets that we saw from the movie. And we also got an interview coming up soon with her and Graham Norton that's been leaking all over online. The photos, not necessarily what the conversation was. I've been avoiding those if it has. But there are people, if you want to make a stake, if you want to make an effort, then you're going to find a way to get people to buy the music. Or maybe it could be the fact that her record label is not as behind her as they should be. Maybe they don't have faith in you as an artist or don't have faith in what type of product that you're putting out. They got you on the thing and they're like, okay, she's one of our artists, whatever. We ain't got no money to be for the budget. So we just gonna leave you out here. You on your own. You just gotta figure out ways, creative ways to come up with promoting your shit. And as they say, the old saying goes, if a tree falls in a forest and what is it? If it, if you cut down a tree and it falls in the forest, does it make a sound? I know I probably butchered it, but y'all get the gist of it. The gist of it. Nobody cares about Lizzo and her music and what she's all about. So I think there's a lot of those factors. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? What do you think? Maybe the reason why Lizzo's album flopped harder than you can say Hottie Montag. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know. Yeah, that's an old school term. If you know, you know. If you for, I never want to hear from y'all. Let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.